We're here, the big one we've all been waiting for, London Marathon 2026. All the weeks of training and running with the green flag for FearFree has led to this day. And you can see here all the crowds getting ready in Greenwich, the start of the London Marathon. 59,000 runners taken to the streets of London, and you can see it's a glorious day. Got a bit warm as the day went on, but we're there. Blue skies, everybody just nervously waiting. 3, 2, 1, just like that. Wave 2 from the yellows, and we're going. There are actually 3 different start lines at London, so we're at the yellow start. That's not the one you generally see on the telly. There's another bigger start that you often see on this when you're watching the BBC coverage on the telly. So this is one of the other smaller starts. And we've got a little bit of room here to get going. It's not overly crowded, but when we get to about 5 or 6k, when all the routes start merging together, it gets a lot busier. But we made it for the first time since 2010. I'm on the start line of the London Marathon. It's about 9:40 in the morning here. Not many crowds at the start. They're all to come later on in the course. But yes, this is everybody just taking it easy, getting into the rhythm of London Marathon, and knowing that the first 3 or 4k is a big downhill. So that's everybody just saving themselves for the long journey to come. So this is about 5 or 6k, like I said. This is where the routes merge. So you can see over on the right, there's another stream of runners on the other side of the central reservation. They're from one of the other start areas. Always love some drums under a tunnel. So yes, just after this, we're all going to merge together. You can still see them in the far distance, the other group, and we get together. And then at about 7 miles, one of the most iconic parts of the London Marathon course is Cutty Sark. And Cutty Sark was on the medal this year, so that was the focal point of the medal that we get at the end. But I'll just be quiet and let you enjoy the crowds around Cutty Sark. So that's Cutty Sark done. But before we go and see the rest of the London Marathon, let's just take a couple of minutes to reflect on why I'm running and why I'm doing it for FearFree.
Hello, my name is Debbie Beadle and I'm the CEO of FearFree. So FearFree has actually been around for about 30 years. You may formerly know us as Splits, but for 30 years we've been supporting people with domestic abuse, sexual violence and stalking. We work with anybody, no matter your background, your gender, your sexuality, and we also work with people who are victims of abuse, but also those people that harm. So it's the first time that we're entering the iconic London Marathon race. We're really excited to be part of such a big fundraising event, and it means, it brings quite a lot of attention to first our cause, but just for the runners involved, that are a big part of a bigger community raising funds for charities. Gary is obviously running with a green flag attached to him. And what that represents is a kind of flip on the head from looking at red flags. We always warn people about red flags. So green flags is about looking for positive things in relationships, whether that's consent in a relationship, making sure that we have safe boundaries both for ourselves and with others, making sure that we are keeping ourselves safe, and making sure that we're also feeling emotionally and physically secure in relationships.
I'm Gary McAllister and I'm running the London Marathon 2026 for FearFree. I was approached by the Mayor of Melksham to see if I was interested in a challenge to run the London Marathon this year in support of one of the Mayor of Melksham's charities, which is FearFree. FearFree are a charity that work with, it's kind of a difficult subject matter with domestic abuse and violence. So it really does need a light shining on it, because it's a difficult subject doesn't mean it's not there, and it doesn't need people supporting it. There can be stuff happening on your doorstep and around that you don't know. We need to promote the idea of healthy relationships green flags in relationships. And this seemed like an amazing way to promote that in the local community, supporting a local charity, supporting the Mayor of Melksham and their charities for the chosen year.
So we're really grateful, obviously, for Gary and Melksham Council to be supporting us. You know, it's really important, as we said, that we have these funds to ensure that we can keep our doors open.
So thank you for taking 2 minutes to watch that. And we treat you back at London Marathon at probably the most iconic site on the course, and we are here at Tower Bridge, and the crowds are absolutely phenomenal. I early on decided I wanted to have my name on my vest, so we got that printed on a few months ago, and you'll hear the crowd now. Everybody shouts whenever they see somebody with a name on their bib, they'll shout their name. So I got a lot of Gary cheers out on the course. But again, you can see, because I'm quite far forwards, we were one of the earlier waves, it's not too busy. I know it gets busy on the bridge later, but we've spaced out a little bit. I've got plenty of room to move and enjoy the crowd. So again, I'll go quiet for a moment just so you can fully embrace how loud Tower Bridge is. This is one of the points where most of the charities meet, so a lot of the bigger London Marathon charities. You can see there's lots of flags and banners on the side of the course. So a lot of the charities decide to meet there. And the crowds are like 5-6 people deep. Quite often there's a BBC crew interviewing people on the bridge as well, if you've ever watched the footage on the telly. I didn't see any celebs on the bridge today. But again, I think they talk more to the fancy dress runners and the celebrities who come round after us. That was me seeing the two people who ended up breaking 2 hours for the first time ever in marathon history, and I got to see them firsthand at that bit of course where you go back at about 14 miles and back at about 23 miles. But not all the routes is busy. You can see here it was quite quiet in the tunnel, no crowds there, but then you're back into Canary Wharf. This is one of the water stations. These are big operations, these water stations. Again, it's not too busy here. When it got busy later, I can only imagine how hectic those water stations get. But yeah, I had room to move over, grab a water, and just try to keep hydrated. There were water stations every 5k. And I was taking some precision energy gels as I was going around too. So I was trying to take in lots of carbohydrates to try and keep my energy levels up during the run. But it was getting warmer and warmer. There's nothing you can do about the temperature, so we just needed to try and finish as soon as we can. Here we are here. This part is called Rainbow Road, which is the LGBTQ plus part of the course. So you'll see a lot of the rainbow flags, the trans flags. It's an amazing vibe here. It's always very vocal, very party-like atmosphere. There's lots of different sections around the course, all for different things. There was like a Muslim runners area that had like a massive disco going. There was the WWF had a wildlife area with trees and bird sound playing. So there's so many fantastic areas. But here we go, highlight of my London Marathon in a moment where the drag queen on the stage gives me a massive cheer. It's not every day you can say that's happened. So I'll let you enjoy the vibes on the Rainbow Road. Now there is so much course, 26.2 miles, that I can't show you all of it, but I'll definitely try and show you some of the highlights. And we're at about mile 25 now. This is the last bit, and this is another famous bit you see on the telly. There's Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament just on our left. And then we enter what's called Birdcage Walk. So we've got less than a mile to go from this point. But boy, it is such a long mile. The crowds, see there's masses, both sides of the road, masses of crowd making a huge amount of noise. I was feeling okay here. I'd slowed down a little bit, but I was still running. I managed to run the whole race. But this is definitely where you start to see people struggle a little bit. If it's hurting now, this is one of the longest miles you'll ever run. But once you've done Birdcage Walk, you get to this turn. And this sign here, 385 yards to go. That sign has always said that, even from the first time I ran London Marathon, like 25 years or so ago. It's always been there. Through this walkway, and there's Buckingham Palace. There's the Victoria statue in front of us. And as I turn the last corner towards the mile, I'll stop talking and let you enjoy it. I'll just say thank you for your support, everybody. Over all of these weeks, building up and supporting FearFree and the charity work that we do. And it's all accumulated in this last couple of 100 metres as we finish the 2026 London Marathon.
What a fantastic sight. And you know that it's like this all the way back round the course, right the way across the carriageway, all the way round the Isle of Dogs, back to the Cutty Sark. All right, Archie.
We talked about the international flavour of this event. We're broadcasting nearly 200 countries, but Waiter Andrew Fong of Hong Kong is just coming up to the finish line. Welcome to you. All sorts of international flags making their way down the finish straight as well.
Daddy, congratulations! Thank you very much. Thank you. London Marathon done. That was last 5 miles in the heat. Was tough. About 3 hours 10. I think probably my 3rd fastest marathon ever. Not quite the 3 hours I wanted. But quite early on realised I don't think I was quite in that shape. So 3:10 was about as much as I could do today. I really enjoyed it. Ran the whole way. And hopefully lots of money raised for FearFree. So there we go, the 46th London Marathon 2026 is done.